Hey, this is Jennifer, and I just want to show you 3 simple ways you can add images to your Google Forms. So this is a traditional Google form. I'm going to set it up to use it in U.S. history. I want to make it a little more historical, so I'm going to use the palette and pick, say, a blue color, since that color is in our flag. So I've given my quiz a title, and I want to add an image that is just kind of inspirational, and it's not tied to any specific question. To do that, I'm going to use this menu that you would use to add a new question. I'm going to use this add image option here, the little picture icon, and I'm going to select that. And it's going to open up the box that you see in most of the G Suite tools, where you can either upload a picture, search, take it from your Google Drive, take a snapshot, lots of different options. I've already got an image I want to use, so I'm going to open it up, go out to my desktop, and I'm going to add this quote from President Kennedy. And this is just going to be a nice inspirational history quote to start my quiz. It's not tied to any question. That's just where we're going to start. So I want to add my first question. So I'm going to add a question. And my first question is going to have an image that's attached to the question. So my question is going to be, what is this document? And I'm going to add the image right here next to the question. I'm going to use that icon. I'm going to choose to go out onto my computer and find that image, and I'm going to pull it in. So in this situation, the question itself is going to include the image. Maybe I use this for a math problem that I want to be able to screenshot and show exactly what it looks like. Maybe I use it for a poem, or maybe I use it for some kind of diagram for my science class. But in this situation, I'm going to give it a picture, and I'm going to give the answer choices underneath that will go with that particular picture in question. So this document, is it the Declaration of Independence, Bill of Rights, or the Constitution? Once I have my answer choices in, I want to make that a required question. I want to make sure it's spelled correctly, then make it a required question. Then I'm going to add a second question to this quiz. Now in this question, I'm not going to attach my image to the question itself. I'm going to attach my image to the answer choices. So my question is going to be, who was the first president of the U.S.? And I would like each of my answer choices to have a different image. So my first one is going to be Washington. I'm going to have Lincoln. I'm going to have Hamilton. And then I'm going to have Jefferson. To make these answer choices easier for students to distinguish, I'm going to add the graphic by each answer choice. And you'll see in just a second how those look different. Now you could search for pictures, or I have already saved some down on my desktop. It just kind of makes it easier if you kind of pre-plan and gather. It might include images you've already used in lessons, so the students are already familiar with the images and not just the questions themselves. But with each one, notice I've typed the name, and then I'm attaching the image that goes with that answer choice. Now, it's important if you're using pictures for your answer choices that you also type a word in. Otherwise, you will not be able to see what students respond, because the pictures themselves do not show up in your spreadsheet with your answers. It's only going to be the answers. So make sure you've added a text with each of the images. So I've added my question, and I've added a picture with each of my answer choices. And now let's look at what that looks like by putting it in the preview mode. So here's my finished quiz. I have the image I've brought in that happens to be an inspirational quote. It's not tied to any question. It's a standalone image. Then my first question, what is this document? In this example, the image is attached to the question, and then the answer choices are standalone underneath. So the students would look at the image and then decide their answer. In this answer question and answer choice, the question, who was the first president of the US, the images are attached to the answer choices themselves. So in order to answer the question, the students have two bits of information, the word as well as an image of that particular historical figure. So these are three basic ways you can add images to your Google Forms, kind of to spice them up, add some depth. For little folks, images might be really important in the success of them answering questions, but it's also got lots of opportunity for adding in graphics and pictures of diagrams and pictures of equations and lots of different things that adding the image will help the students in their learning. I hope you find this helpful. Have a great day.